Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I wanted to take a second look at the characters that we talked about not too long ago who were getting their buffs. Okay guys, we had character rebalancing for Crossbones, Kid Kaiju, and Vision, so I wanted to take them into World Boss and see how they would perform with their new additions. I don't have many doubts that Kid Kaiju, given that I've tier 2'd him, will be able to beat Corvus. Corvus is one of the easiest world bosses once you have some dodge ignore strikers, but I am more curious to see how Vision and Crossbones will operate, considering that I just recently got Crossbones to 6 stars and considering how weak Vision was in the past. So as for Kid Kaiju, we're not going to give him any kind of good team ups. We're just going to go in with just him, and we're going to give him just one dodge ignore striker. That should be enough to kind of balance the scales, given that he has his own leadership, 20% attack, 20% defense, 10% all speed. But with his recent addition, guys, he's getting 8. He's getting the Loki treatment, guys. He's getting 8 hits, guard 8 hits for 8 seconds on his 3rd skill. So right there, guys, you can see 8 hits for 8 seconds on SketchUp. That's insane. That really boosts his survivability a lot. So it's going to be very difficult now to hit Kid Kaiju because, you know, every 7 seconds I have 8 seconds worth of guard hits. This is basically the Loki treatment through and through. But I'm happy because I got tier 2 Kid Kaiju, baby. Let's go. So yeah, it's going to be a lot harder to kill Kid Kaiju now. And he already did pretty good damage before, so I expect him to continue to do very good damage. And now, with the priority being casting that 3rd skill for those guard hits, he's going to basically permanently have a 15% attack buff and 11% dodge buff. I don't really notice the other changes to Kid Kaiju. I mean, there's a push on his 1st skill, this skill right here that I'm going to cast in a second. Where the red tiger comes out, this one. But I just can't notice it because you can't push and interact with world bosses in that way. I do notice that the tornado is a little bit bigger, and I haven't noticed any of the iframes, the additional iframes for Kid Kaiju, because Hyvo hasn't died yet. Hyvo has tanked every single one of Corvus's hits, and yeah, he's still trucking. He's a little bit less than half health, but that's insane. And you guys can see there the immunity on Hyvo. Oh, there he goes. He finally died. The immunity on Hyvo after I cast that 5th skill is present. This is going very well. You know, the damage could be a little bit higher given that I only have 1 dodge ignore striker, but you know, it looks like it's going to be in about 2 minutes, and that's pretty good for a speed character. Keep that in mind, guys. This is not the, you know, typings that we're used to seeing excel in World Boss. But I think we're going to get him here with this last skill rotation. Maybe not if we're not lucky with the dodges. We're not lucky with the dodges. But Hyvo, tanking all the hits. There we go. Just under or just over 2 minutes. Very easy. But the important part here, guys, is to notice Kid Kaiju lost less than 2,000 health. I struggled mightily in the past to keep Kid Kaiju alive. He gets hit a lot. But those 8 guard hits on 8 seconds, when you max out the skill, and you want to max out the skill for other reasons as well. You want to max it out because it increases the all attack. It only increases it from like 6% to 15, so it's not a huge jump. But that 8 hits in 8 seconds on a 7-second cooldown is bellissimo, guys. I don't think this makes him like the new best speed character, but I will be trying him in Extreme Alliance Battle now that he has a way of protecting himself, and I wouldn't be surprised if some better players, some more skillful creators can, you know, make him reach that 100,000 point plateau that we kind of associate with a really good Extreme Alliance Battle character. Now, does that make him suddenly the best paywall character? No. I mean, obviously Enchantress is still probably objectively better. Carnage is objectively better. But I think this firmly entrenches him as the 3rd best, whereas before he was arguably one of the worst. So that's pretty good. Hey! So let's move on and check out Crossbones next. Crossbones is the one that I have the most worry about, just because I only have his gears at about 15, but we will give him a decent team up with the merry men and women that he's used to hanging out with. We just need to find Red Skull. I think I took off his uniform. Yep. So we got a lot of team ups here: Unholy Trinity, Fatal Attraction, Evil Legacy, and Skeleton Crew. We could give him a 24% all attack, but we're going to give him his own leadership of 30%. And again, we're just going to try to give him one. Well, let's give him 2 dodge. Let's give him 2 normal dodge ignore strikers, not any tier 2 dodge ignore strikers. Again, he doesn't have many iframes, but we'll figure out pretty early on which ones we can rely on and which ones we can't. And we'll see if he can get through Corvus. That's not an iframe. Okay, it seems like there are iframes intermittently here, but I've missed a lot of my attacks already. Not just missed because Corvus has dodged them, but missed because he just is attacking the air. It seems like his first skill has a pretty long iframe because Corvus doesn't really know what to do when I'm doing that, when I'm casting that skill. But yeah, it's not bad. The second skill seems pretty reliable as an iframe. The second skill seems like a pretty long iframe. The damage is not bad, to be honest, but it's not great either. Keep in mind he's, you know, not super well geared. He does have an 8-set ISO, but try not to get frozen. The other thing is he doesn't have any kind of ranged attacks. I think the only one, at least with this uniform, is that 4th skill, which is not bad. But yeah, it's a full iframe on his second skill, which is very nice. So we're gonna have to come to rely on that in later parts of this fight, because otherwise, yeah, we're gonna take a lot of damage if we don't. We just got rocked by those craters. That's what I was trying to avoid. Yeah, it's a full iframe there on his... Just switch here. I didn't want to die. Full iframe there on his second skill, which is very nice. We're just going to try to clean up a little bit of this with Red Skull so we can finish it off with Crossbones. But, I mean, a tier 1 Crossbones with very basic setup, doing pretty well against Corvus with just 2 dodge ignore strikers. I'm not sure if he had... I don't think he had this kind of success pre-patch, pre-update, because again, he was lacking any kind of iframes, and that's really going to hurt you, especially because there's just nothing Crossbones can do against an opponent that is, you know, melee when he's melee as well. I mean, how are you going to hit Corvus ever if you're melee and Corvus is melee and you don't have iframes, right? So I think that the iframes, especially on that second skill, it's a full iframe. It seems like an instant iframe as well. It's reliable, and definitely at tier 2, probably with his uniform as well. You might clear this pretty handily, maybe in a similar speed to that of Kit Kaiju at tier 2, you know, 2 minutes. He does have the self-buffing 30% leadership. So this is an instant iframe. We didn't do any damage, but it's okay. He moves around a lot more than he used to, which is nice because you guys know how much I hate characters who just stand still and do their skills. It's just really annoying, and it just feels like you're helpless against bosses that move around a lot, bosses that deal a lot of damage in a burst attack, because you don't have a lot of reactionary time, right? You're kind of just sitting there like a duck, casting your skill, hoping that you don't get punished for it, meanwhile knowing that you probably will. So we're going to try to finish this off here with... Oh, I didn't do any damage on those skills. And this is an iframe. That's nice. So yeah, it's an instant iframe, as we can tell, because it kicked Corvus out of his... So there, I don't know the pattern for his movement, so he actually jumped into the fire, which is not very good at all. But we're having a little bit of trouble finishing him off here. Maybe Corvus is going to get the best of us. Come on, baby Corvus. Please just die, dude. There we go. Finished him off with Sin. All tier 1 characters. We do have a 30% physical damage leadership, but we only have 2 strikers, and we got that one in about 3 minutes and 40 seconds. That was not bad at all. The iframe, the instant iframe on Crossbones' second skill is definitely very valuable to the character, especially for game modes like World Boss now, where you can't heal. He's probably going to be a lot better in Shadowlands at tier 2 because of that stun whenever he crits, and as we will see in a moment, his tier 2 passive is quite powerful now. But we do have one more character to get through, guys, so let's hook it up with Vision, one of the original bros of the game. We're going to give him just a bad leadership here. Hopefully his damage will be enough with some dodge ignore strikers. But Vision for me is the most well equipped. He does have pretty high gears, almost all at 20. He's rocking Stark backing, so he's pretty defensive in that sense, and he has an old obelisk. I didn't have a new obelisk to roll for him, but we'll see if his iframe on his third skill is enough to get him. Ooh, that's a lot better. That's bad though. So he does have that 10 seconds of physical immunity, but we'll see. The damage is not bad. I really like the fourth skill a lot more now. Density microwave. It's actually called microwave. This one. I really like that one a lot now. It seems to have a lot more tracking on it. And yes, this is... Oh, it's not an instant iframe. What the hell? Thank you for the Dimension Rift. Okay, so I got hit a lot more than I wish I had. The damage is so-so. It's not poo-poo. And I thought this was an instant iframe on his third skill, but I think we got hit. We might have just been interrupted, though. Oh, that's not good. But yeah, his fourth skill is a lot more reliable, but everything else seems to be pretty much the same. I am getting hit a lot, so adding one iframe, especially at tier 1, is just not going to cut it. But at least, yeah, see, when he comes up, then he starts to get hit. Starts to get punished. But at least one iframe is better than no iframes. I don't think this was enough for the character, but I did say as much in my initial review, and it seems to have been correct. I did expect Vision to do a little bit better than Crossbones, just because I had invested more in Vision, but I guess the team-ups and the iframe and generally the better damage that Crossbones was doing, yeah, he's already dead, is makes up for the fact that Vision has an extra iframe. Wow, what the fuck. I hate these little clones so much. They're awful. Now, taking a look at the gears of the characters, we'll see that we already know that Kid Kaiju is all maxed out, blah blah blah. But for Crossbones, this is why I was so skeptical about my chances anyways. He's only got 50 on his gear, 17 on his attack stat. His attack stat is preferable to upgrade first because it has both physical attack and ignore defense. The one big stat that Crossbones is missing from his gears is skill cooldown. It's not in any of the orange slots. So you're better off trying to roll for Hawk's Eye as far as ISO 8 set goes if you want to go offensive. I rolled Power of Angry Hulk like on my 4th roll, so I was like, RNGesus is being kind to me today to set up this video. I'm not going to press my luck. But as you can see here, he is pretty low on the skill cooldown, 32%. I'm missing about 3.5. So I would be better off upgrading Grenade Launcher and rolling skill cooldown or Hawk's Eye. His obelisk was just for attack, crit damage, and the attack proc, which I don't think I timed very well with his 4th or 5th skill. And then his skills are all level 3. His tier 2 passive, however, now looks very good. 30% crit rate guaranteed, 35% crit damage, not guaranteed, so keep that in mind. And then 10% increased guaranteed dodge. I don't know if that's a typo, if the guaranteed or if the critical damage should be guaranteed, but we'll have to see. And then Hydra Sun will improve to 100% chance to make him very powerful in Shadowland. Unfortunately, Vision doesn't get any changes to his skill text, except for on his intangible tier 2 passive, because the damage numbers have gone up and the cooldown and the immunity have changed as well. So that's the review of the new changes of the character rebalancing. I'm probably the most pleased with Kid Kaiju because it affects his survivability a lot. Those 8 guard hits in 8 seconds are fantastic. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know which character you're more excited to play as now that they've got an improvement, or if you're just not excited to play as either of them, because I can understand that too. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.